Welcome back, welcome back. Well, not many writers have the chance to rewrite a book and give a new generation of readers an up-to-date version of a classic or a bestseller. But one man has done that, just done that. Jeffrey Archer has revised and recrafted, as he likes to say, his 1979 best-selling work, Kane and Abel. The result? 7 months of writing, old words replaced by new ones, and a work described by another best-selling author, Dan Brown, as the ultimate tale of sibling rivalry. But why rewrite something that's already a success and a bestseller around the world? More than 200 million copies have been sold already. Joining me now to answer that and many more questions that are coming to your minds right now is Jeffrey Archer. Jeffrey, what gave you the idea to do it again?
Well, it's interesting, David. I didn't really mean to. I sat down and thought, it's 30 years has gone. I'll read it again. I haven't read it for 30 years. And I began to make a few changes and thought, well, I'll tell the publisher, you know, you just print this and print the new one and no one will notice. 500 hours later, 7 months later, I'd rewritten the whole book. The plot hadn't changed at all. But 30 years later, as in your profession, a little bit more experienced at what I'm doing and a little bit more craftsmanship. So the book's about 7,800 words shorter.
Shorter.
And nearly 50,000 words added. So it was a lot of work. So what you get, you've got Kane and Abel, the story, two men born on the same day, one with everything, one with nothing. They meet once in their life and it causes the biggest change in their life. But it's now, I hope, sharper and faster.
How does the changes in that period of 30 years in morality and in other ways, not just computers, but in morality and generally, is it a different discipline when you did the book this time?
I think one is aware that generations have changes and you mustn't look as if you're so dated that you're out of touch. I give an example, nothing to do with the book, which would affect you because your love of football and my love of football. I saw the other day, of this time, a 1970s film of a football match. And someone tackled someone and nearly broke his leg. And the crowd did this, David. I need the camera on me. The crowd did this.
It's on you.
Ready?
At every moment.
Ready? They were shocked. Today they would go, "Ah!" And that's 30 years. It had gone from to in 30 years.
Yeah.
And I realized, I looked at that 1970s film and thought, they'd be almost on the pitch killing the man nowadays. And so, yes, you're quite right. In a period of 30 years, there are massive changes in the real world.
And, of course, there are changes in where you write. You write blogs now.
Yes, I write blogs now.
All around the world, people
I love
write
writing
blogs.
well, so many people are kind enough to contact me and talk to me about my books, talk to me about other things, that I do a daily blog. It's because it's fun to talk to them, and they come back and give me their views. They tell me what they think. They're talking to me at the moment about the expenses scandal in the House of Commons. They're talking to me, whatever it is, they give me their opinion from all over the world.
Well, yeah, and talking from all over the world, everyone is interested in that expenses scandal, right round viewers in all 100 countries that we're talking to at this moment. But did it take you by surprise?
Oh, yes.
And was it overdone?
I think it would be fair to say that this sort of thing is probably going on in a lot of other worlds, which wouldn't make a paragraph in a newspaper, but because it's politicians, it is making the front page. So yes, when you say is it overdone, no, we must expect more of our public servants. But is it fair to categorize only them in this way? No, totally unfair.
Do you find that the audience, the reading public for your books, varies around the world? Do you have one country that's particularly can't get enough of Jeffrey Archer?
Well, I tell this story always. I did a signing session in Hatchards quite recently for Paths of Glory, and 83 people turned up. I went to Borders in New York, and 340 people turned up. I went to the equivalent in Sydney, 1,100 turned up. I went to India, to Bombay, 5,400 people turned up, and I was signing for 7 hours. So India, India are the big nation at the moment who are readers. They have, it was pointed out to me by the Wall Street Journal when they interviewed you. They said, Geoffrey, you have more readers in India than you have in America. And I said, well, they said, wait a moment. It may be a population of 1.1 billion, but 350 million of them read English. So you're at a terrific advantage. The other thing, David, the other great love in your life and mine, they adore the game of cricket. So when you get them, they are much more likely to talk about cricket. I remember they said to me, now, when you do the interview, Geoffrey, for the big interview in Bombay, do not mention cricket. So I said, why not? They said, you will be on the front page of every paper if you mention cricket. We want to mention the book. We want the title of the book and about you, not cricket. And this man said to me, and I couldn't resist it, I fell for it. The interviewer said, very distinguished interviewer said, how do you feel about 2020 cricket, Geoffrey? I said, it's not cricket. It's got nothing to do with cricket. Cricket is a test match. VVS Laxman and Roald Dravid remaining on the pitch all day against the Australians, surviving and then winning the next day. That's cricket. And they were quite right. Archer hates 2020. Real cricket. The book, Kane and Abel, mentioned down here at the end of the column on the bottom of the page. 3 columns on my opinion on cricket. They love the game. Yeah. They're mad about it.
Do you have the idea for your next book?
Oh, yes. I think luckily, ideas are the secret. You're quite right. Damned hard work is the secret. But ideas come all the time, and when they stop coming, it's all over. Now, I've been very privileged and very lucky.
Do they come at a particular time of day?
No, you can never be sure. I admit that when you're lying awake in the morning, they're more likely. I mean, I love writing 6 o'clock to 8. I adore that period. I do 6 o'clock to 8, 10 o'clock to 12, 2 o'clock to 4, 6 o'clock to 8, go to bed 9, up at 5:30. But I find, I don't know what you find when you've been writing, but 6 o'clock to 8, no telephones, no noise, no interruption, no people. Perfect.
Perfect. 6 to 8. Thank you for being with us, Geoffrey.
Thank you, David.
Good luck with this great tome. With another bomb blast today, how will Pakistan's security forces deal with the Taliban? Find out after this short break.